About all. It's the Draya Bloom Show. You're tuned in to yesterday's price and explosive conversation about all things value. That's right. It's time to lock in, listen in, and tune in with your girl Draya Bloom. That's right. Every Wednesday from 1 o'clock p.m. to 2. That's right. We going in with a conversation. Okay, girl. Let's hear what you got to say. It's Draya Bloom. Okay.
That's right, that's right, that's right. It is indeed Dre Blooms, but that's guess what, guys? We gotta get back into that because I need y'all to know. So keep it locked in right here. Listen, y'all know whatever. Sometimes something trying to just trip you up, but it ain't gonna do that. Okay, that's what we not gonna do. That's right. The devil is a liar today. Someone hold on to your good wig. Okay, hold on to your good wig. We're getting right there right now. So keep it locked.
It's the Drake Bloom Show. You're tuned in to your host, Drea Blooms, on yesterday's price, an explosive conversation on all things value. It's time to eat good, feel good, and be good because God is good. Okay. See who we are interviewing this week as our special guest and join the conversation. This conversation is sponsored by Miss Nat's Restaurant. Call 352-7596 and place your order for some good Bahamian breakfast and lunch. What did it cost you? Well, we'll find out soon.
That's right. What did it cost you? It is yesterday's price, an explosive conversation on all things value, a Drake Bloom show, and you are tuned in and locked in 2 minutes after 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That's right, exclusively on W103.7 FM. And I am super excited today to be talking it up with you. What did it cost you? Y'all, this is the first time you are actually going to be my very special guest. That's right. That's right, y'all. I like y'all. Not just I like y'all, I actually love y'all. Y'all are the best. Okay, that's right. And so I definitely want to make the phone lines open and available 602-3682. Okay, the title today, okay, I have no special guest because y'all, I was looking for a principal to end, this back to school edition. And it's just been a little, a little rough. Okay, that's what the hardest thing to find is a principal because, I just wanted to talk about what it was or what it looks like where the principal in the school system and how administration is so important, right? But a little bit of today, the title is School is Out, okay? Because this is the final week of September and the back to school edition is completely over. So Drea Bloom's show is going into a new season for the month of October. Yes, y'all believe that? Yeah, I'm going into a new season and I'm excited about that. That's right. No stopping me now. Oh my goodness. But one or two things. I definitely want to talk to you guys about School is Out. This one is going to be, I think this is going to be the hardest show I probably ever had. Yeah. I feel like everything lately has been a matter of, what we're seeing happening, in the world, everything that, we've been hearing and all that stuff. And so before we get into the conversation, you already know what to do. Go and call Miss Nat 352-7596 and get yourself those wings, okay? Then make it sing and dance all at the same time. You can get a wings plot, y'all. That's how good, okay? I'm going to make this competition today. And if you want to chime in, 602-3682 is the number to call. Call Miss Nat 352-7596. And if that phone number don't ring, pull up on them one time downtown in the Solomon's Plaza, also known as the Wynn Building. Okay, that's right. Ready to get my favorite, which is the Perry wings, bean and rice, sweet plantain coleslaw. That's Drea Blooms. Okay. Or you can do also the wings and the wing snack. Okay, the wings and fries. Okay, just however you feeling now. Y'all know I believe wings is good for a conversation. That's all I'm trying to say. Anyways, y'all. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. Alrighty, yeah. The devil can't play like that today. Okay, he just can't. Okay. Anyway, so today is School is Out. Okay, what happens when school is out? Charlie, this is the time to have a conversation. So, okay, you send your child to school to go and learn. But and this is daytime radio. You send your child to school to go and learn, but your child comes back home, okay? And they're coming back home, right? 3:30. It seems like my child coming at home at a good time of the day, yeah, everything and all that. But do you know what happened at school? Do you know what happened at school? Okay, school is out. Yeah, but we talking about the things that be happening, at school that parents don't know about. Okay, and I shouldn't be the one to tell you. Okay, I ain't going to, they say snitches get stitches. Yeah, I ain't gonna get no stitches. But listen, it's time to talk. Okay, it's time to talk about what really be happening. These children be like, Draya, what you doing? Okay, yes, I'm telling y'all. So first of all, you send your child to school and you drop them off at the school gate. I'm bringing y'all all the tea, parents. You drop them off at the school gate, and they are, you know, fixing their clothes, and they ain't even reaching the gate yet. You drop them off, and they fixing their clothes, they're getting themselves together, and you pull off because you gotta get to work. But little did you know, as soon as you pulled off and they still fixing their clothes, they never walked into the school. Okay, that's right. They went to the bush, they went to the next way, and they did not go to school. And you've been doing that every single day. Okay. And then all of a sudden, yeah, all of a sudden, you get a report. What is it? A progress report. So between a progress report and an actual report card, and you notice on the report card, there is absolutely 100 and whatever days absent. How is that possible? How is your child that you drop to school every morning has 100 and something days absent? And it's like, what? No, it is not possible. It is not possible, but it is so possible. And I know that because I know someone in my day and time. They was way older, a family member too. Okay, I can talk their business, but listen, and it's so possible. So some parents, you be dropping your children off to school. School is out now. I guess this is the conversation today. School is out. You be dropping your children to school, and you think they going to school. You think they're going. You did not see them walk inside that school gate. No, you didn't. And for those of you who did see them walk inside the school gate, there are holes within the school gate on the other sides of the school gate that could get them off the school's premises. Okay. I'm trying to tell somebody, okay. Listen, it be happening. School is out. So you think your child was in school all day, but they wasn't. Okay. That's right. And so you're trying to figure out, okay, well, my child don't talk about no boyfriend. My child don't talk about no girlfriend, or whatever the case is. Or my child like a lot of girls. Okay, my child like a lot of boys. I don't know. well, I don't think the girls be saying that they like my boys. But I'm just saying, right? Okay, so I'm just saying that sometimes your children don't be in school. The same school that you drop them off to, and you think that they're there all day. And then another thing is, you do drop them off to school, and you drop them off with everything. I mean, from the crest, to crest on their shirt, to their tie on, their belt on, their the socks that you think or whatever, and all that stuff, and you know, probably a nice decent ribbon in their hair. But by the time they get in school, all those pieces that you made sure that they had on, they don't. They're getting right up. They're getting right up for not having their crest. They're getting right up for not having their tie on. They're getting right up for all kind of different things. And you be like, how is this possible? Yes, because the child that is at home, okay, that is pretending like they are, your goody tissue. They go to school, they're with their friends, and they act as though how they want people to see them in school. It seems like I'm talking on the children, but it's possible. It's possible. I just want you to know that's right, that these things be happening. School is out. That's right. So y'all need, it's a lot of things that you need to be checking up on, okay? And then on top of that, you ask your child one question for the day. Did you have any homework? They said yes, or they said no. And some of them, let me tell y'all how they know if they had homework. Because before they go out the school gate for the end of school, they ask the child, what did we learn in this person class? Because actually they ducked the class. Okay, they did not show up to the class. That's right. How could your child duck a class in school? There are so many ways. I will not be telling y'all all of it, but school is out. And so if you are like Drea, okay, before I get to let phone lines be open. Your child, you ask your child one question when they come out from school, and it's uh did you have any homework? And they say to you, yeah, I had homework or whatever. And child, and they say, oh well, go and do your homework. You tell them to go and do their homework because they are teenagers now. You don't check up on their homework. You just be like, your homework finished. They be like, yeah, if it's finished. You don't check their homework no more because you allow them to work independently. You allow them to do whatever is necessary and all that stuff. And every child got their cell phone or whatever. And y'all would just be like, okay, you could have this cell phone or whatever, because I need you to have your cell phone at school so you can call me. But what they really doing on those cell phones? What type of groups they in? Parents. Mm-hmm. What type of TikToks do they have? Parents. Mm-hmm. Because they can be making you believe that they are so good. And I'm not trying to, this is not me bringing down children. I'm just trying to let you guys know the school is out. And so the things that you don't be thinking about, the things that you think that this is because this is how I drop my child to school. This is exactly, what if they come back and guess what? Y'all, guess what? They come back home with clean uniform. I mean, but just like you drop them off. Why you think? Why you think? Okay, it is be the ones besides the ones who I'm gonna get to the fighting part in a minute. Besides the ones who, when you drop them off and they look dirty, like they actually was in school doing something, and that's the ones who you make noise with, not the ones who look like they clean all day. And I'm not saying that's for every child. And I'm not making a mockery of children. Okay, I'm just saying school is out, and a lot of things that y'all will be thinking about, but back to school is what is important about back to school. And so the teachers don't be telling y'all, okay, because they be like, when you be like your child good, they be like, because they get to deal with your child on a day-to-day basis. They don't be, if the teachers actually had a show, okay, they would tell y'all the truth and really be happening. Okay, it'd be bad, okay, and it's school is out. And so another thing, that be happening, and I be trying to tell y'all, besides the let's go back to the ducking of the class and that part of it. Okay, so yet you think that your child is showing to all of their classes, but there is possibilities that they're not. There are so many ways in the school system that you can actually duck a class, that you could not show up for a class. Y'all be like, Drea, tell me how. First of all, I don't think I want to share I don't want to share these secrets. I don't share these secrets, but just letting y'all know those thoughts something. Because they're just ways, okay, that you can talk to class. And the teachers they know that, okay, well, this child didn't show the class. Now the teachers aren't necessarily responsible for if a child shows the class or not. You may want them to be responsible, but keep in mind, they have especially in the public school system, they have about 40 children in a class, and they got to get that work out, okay, within 35 to 45 minutes. They have to make sure that not only did they make sure you get to the assignment, you understand it, and actually you complete, whether it's a couple pages of work within that time frame before you are out of their class, because they have work to do. So it's almost like you can't really expect a teacher to be on your child if they're not to class. They can ask your child in class, well, why you weren't to class, but the child could say anything. Or they could find out from homeroom if the child was actually to school today or whatever, the school that day or whatever, but they can tell them anything. And children, teenagers too, they are good, okay, at a lot of things, whether it's manipulation, or they could have telling the story, the lie, or whatever the case is, and letting those teachers know why they wasn't in a class. And so these things be happening, Okay, these be things be happening. We talk about back to school, okay, and a lot of y'all don't be knowing, and that's why sometimes, and it's not no shade, because I had a lot of friends who were pregnant in high school, or who got pregnant in high school, and that's no shade to them, because it's sometimes it be more than that, because there's a lot of things that happened in school. Sometimes it ain't got nothing to do with the child being out of school. Sometimes it be what's going on at home. Okay, what's going on at home? And I talk about my friends and that regards, but some things just be going on, what's going on at home. And so let's go back to school though. Well, let's go back to school, right? So and all these things. And then you got the ones who they're ducking class because they got an addiction problem that you don't know. You don't know that your children have an addiction problem, because when they go home, the only thing that you see them do is eat, come and snuggle up under you, crack some joke, laugh off, or whatever the case is, or you row them to get some things done, and they watch TV. You don't know that they're addicted to a couple different things, whether it's they're drinking alcohol in school because someone was able to sneak some rum inside the school. And so your child is actually drunk during a class, and they can lie to the teacher and be like, I just ain't feeling good, or whatever. Anyway, I just sang and tell all labels. Okay, so they drinking rum in school, and this is the thing, you would want to blame. You may be like, well, how they let this pass them and all that stuff. You can't blame the administration, you can't blame the teachers, because they ain't bring it, they ain't got it, they ain't find it in the school. They brought it from home. So the question is, parents, do you actually have a wine or rum cabinet at home? And your children, although you may think, okay, they ain't touching that or whatever, listen, I know of people that used to take out the rum and fill the bottle with water, because they know you ain't touching that for a while or whatever, and they changing it out, and they ain't gonna tell you that they did that. And so you thinking that you have a bottle of whatever type of rum sitting up on your shelf, but that's water in there. Did you check? Did you check? Okay. Not only that, they carry the rum to school. They're shouting with their friends because they want to seem cool, and everything is about being cool, or being this and that, and not. And I just want to put this out there. Just disclaimer: not every child is doing this. Not every child in a friend group is doing this, but these things are happening, right? And so that's one thing. They're addicted to rum already, and they also may be addicted to drugs. They may be smoking, and they may not be smoking in the school, in the class, but child, they don't find one loophole somewhere where they can actually smoke, right? And get away, because yeah, they'd already know, after they didn't smoke, they're gonna spray themselves right up. And yeah, and guess what? They're gonna ask one of the girls. And that, I mean, I don't know how deep I don't know if some girls are doing that now, but they're gonna ask some of the girls to use their body spray. Hey, you have body spray. Hey, you have body spray, and they're gonna spray themselves or whatever, and change the scent that's on them. And the only thing that could happen is if a teacher may notice that there is a particular scent or whatever the case is, and they send them to the administration. They probably get a take what it is, it's suspended if it gets to that point, if there's a notice of a stand and all that. But your child is struggling with addictions, but you aren't realizing it, because when they get home, the only thing they do is eat, sleep, watch TV. And if they're not watching TV because they have their phone now, because we're in a different time, they are actually on their phones and in these group chats. They're doing these TikToks, but you don't know all of the TikTok pages. You don't know the group chats they're in, because you're not monitoring their phone. You giving them the freedom. You giving them the liberty. And guess what? All that is fine until you realize that the chat, okay, that you've been working so hard on, to make sure they have a thing of and it's not just about the babies that come, or whether it's the male or the female child, where it's not just about getting expelled out of school and all that stuff, but it's about who they turn out to be after, right? It's about who that they turn out to be after high school. because those addictions will follow them. So we talked about the rum, we talked about the drugs, right? And some of these children, guess what? This is the sad part. Some of the weed and stuff like that they're getting could also be laced. So and some every child that your child has ain't have good intentions for your child, right? So they could be like they could think that what they about to do participate in is just a little puff puff, but no, they said so your child could lose their mind, and the good child that you have could lose their mind, okay, because of the things that's going on in school. And the teachers can't be everywhere. They can't be everywhere. They can't. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Thank God for some administrators who always walk around and be seeing what's going on. But at the end of the day, some of these children they find their way. They will find their way. You might as well make them what you call it, those obstacle course where you just do you go through these different things. They know how to get around, okay? I know they're saying, Draya, listen, girl, we will we'll destroy we'll destroy you for talking all our business. But it is crazy because these things actually happen in school and parents don't know. And parents, I just be shocked that y'all don't know when y'all remember what some of y'all used to do. I just don't understand. And this is my thing though. When before school is out, you have the alcohol addiction, you have the rum addiction, but you also don't realize that your child may be struggling with pornography. And because they're struggling with that particular thing, right? They're actually probably being intimate in school with someone. And there are ways, like I say, there's ways around everything. People don't know. And the only people that know is the children in the school. And half of them ain't talking on nobody, right? So don't ask me because I am my business. That's if you had a child say that, just know, hey, wonders shall never end. And y'all, it's so funny because I used to put on I used to watch African movies, and I used to be putting on these African and listen to me. There was one that said wonders shall never end. Hey, wonders shall never end. Boy, abomination. Okay, that's right. And listen, and I want to say this too, because this is dumb nation. This is a Christian nation, right? The pastors and the believers' children. The reason why your child is the worst, not that you ain't doing a good job, sometimes, it's because they want their peers to see that they aren't like so uncool or so churchy or whatever it is that they may be going on, like, you understand, like they just don't want to seem like they're not in with the crowd, kind of ways though. And then they also don't want to seem like they just following a crowd. They want to be like the leader, so they be saying let's do this or whatever the case is. And I'm just saying there is absolutely no way as a believer and as a child of God that your child is going anywhere and you ain't dream something or you ain't see something or you ain't know, like it's just you just is have to you be like, Father, tell me, but they into Father, let me know, because these children be doing things, okay? They be doing things. But okay, so let's go for the ones who probably ain't doing stuff. Okay, let's go for the ones who probably ain't doing stuff. Let's highlight them for a second. No, but before we highlight them for a second, like I say, your child struggling with that P graphy, and they are being intimate in school, and so you may not know unless they get catch. And when they get catch, they get a lot of shame, because the children in school who know, they calling them nasty, and they go into the administration. Now you find out, now you shame too with your child, because you can't believe this is your child. But they're addicted. And you don't know that they're addicted, because when they get home from school, they do three things. They eat, They probably talk to you for a minute or something like that. They go sometimes they may sometimes depends on if you just tell your children go bed after they get home from school to go bed. Anyways, that and then they also go either to sleep or they go on their phones. Now slide to the right, okay, to the children that aims to win these things that they really focus on school and stuff like that. And sometimes it's not determined on their friend group. Because just because the friend group, it seems like all of them is decent children and they respectful. Because yeah, that's the other we all get wrong. Just because this child saying yes, mom, no, mom, yes, like, yeah, that's the ones because they know what they need to say to you to get past you, so that you don't see right what it is that they're into. And so that is the thing, right? So one of the things is that you don't get blindsided with that. But the next part is that there are good children. There are some children that this, I mean, that's all they want to do is be good. They're not being persuaded. They are not they're not being in the mix and stuff like that. And so that is one of the ways sometimes you could tell if your child is, if you when you probably go to a teacher and the teacher tell you that your child is focused in every class. Majority of times when the child who is probably focused in every class, they are really doing their work and all that stuff. The only thing that could deter them is a plan of the enemy and try for like a person, whether it's a guy or a girl, and try to get them into a relationship because the enemy will use stuff like that. And I remember always saying to people, do not awaken love before it's time, right? Because the minute you get into a relationship in school, you throw yourself off track because now you're thinking about the person that you are with, what they're doing, okay, what y'all gonna do, what y'all gonna eat at lunchtime. Listen, it's crazy. It's all the things you be thinking about. And so, and all these other things, like, oh, if y'all going all the week this weekend, all these different things, but you're not your child's not focused, but that's the only thing that probably would bring their focus. So you have to find out from your child, where are you when it comes to, relationships, have the conversation, because these children, okay, some of them focus, some of them have their minds together, but don't forget the same children that could be focused and have their minds together, the enemy, the know and see. You're a good child, you're a good, decent child. They wanna, he wanna bring a little hurdle or whatever, and your child may not be good at overcoming. Because remember now, the rough and the rugged children, they know what it is to overcome because they grow up tough, they grow up hard. But just your child who you baby up, who is a good, decent child, they don't know what it's like to overcome because you spoon feed them everything. And although it's good that you keep them close, you also are not teaching them things that help them to overcome. So when they get in the chance, like, oh, someone tell them, oh, they beautiful, or someone tell them that they handsome, or whatever the case is, all of a sudden they willing to give in, not knowing that your good son getting all his lunch money take from the girl. And not only that, she ain't only just dating him, she dating a couple other people. So you thinking the same good decent, you got same good decent son show you this nice well-mannered young lady who know how to be well-mannered with you, or whatever the case is. But when your son to school, he don't even be able to eat lunch because he's given all his money. Lord, what is this? And then your good decent daughter, right? She going to school and you thinking, she's my child. Yeah, but you don't know. Okay. Lunchtime is a crazy time. Okay. I'm just saying, where did she go at lunchtime? Okay. And y'all may not want to have this conversation. It's rough to have because you don't want to think about your child in that way. I'm not telling you to think about your child in that way. I'm telling you that when school is out, when all the beautiful things about school, you got the backpack, you made sure that they had the best shoes, you make sure that they had the best clothes, the hair fixed, all the things that they asked for. They get the new phone, go back to school, they get a laptop, they get all this. You make sure they get all their books and all this stuff. All that stuff. They back to school. You make sure that they in a good school or in a good class, whatever it is, right? But what you didn't make sure is that after that, there is a counseling session at home going on between you and your child. What's going on in school? I don't want to just know if you did your homework. I actually come. Let me see, because the moment you tell your child, let me see, whether the truth or the lie will definitely appear. Oh well, I couldn't understand it, so you don't finish it. So you never started it, because in this book, I don't even see your name. I don't even see your name on your heading. I don't even know what is the name of the teacher for this subject. See, these things ain't happening. So when you think you're good, baby, all right? This is they don't lie to you, but you don't know. So they say that yes, they did their homework, but they ain't do their homework yet. When they get to school, they gonna do their homework, right? Not only that, let's go. Let's now the ones who are good, who did do their homework, who are focused, who are probably they may, and guess what? Not because a child is not your favorite at home doesn't mean that they're not good in school. There are certain characteristics that you can look for in your child to recognize, okay, is this something that I need to really, you know, most children who are, and any child could choose their path, but most children who are loved, who and loved in a way where they don't they don't need others, and not to say that they shouldn't want social life or they shouldn't want friendships, but they don't depend on that. But that is when you're doing something good, because that is when a relationship can't distract them, friendships can't distract them, and even extracurricular activities in school, they choose the one that they know, this is the direction that I want to go. They're very focused, and getting your child to a place of focus, finding programs that help your children to focus, that help your children to have a specific desire. Because I can be honest with you, if you're not having the conversation with your child about relationships, and not just the intimate ones, those friendships. Remember, friendships can ruin your children, right? School is out. School is out. The friendships is telling your child after school, let's go this place, but your parents don't know, right? The friendships that are, whereby you always have to be knock, knock, buck, buck, not if you buck, buck, kind of way. Your child always got to be fighting. You know what I'm saying? Because, and you may look at it and I know that there's a lot of parents, because they come from a ghetto lifestyle, a hood lifestyle and stuff like that. They teach their children, listen, if someone knock, you buck, or if someone buck, you knock. I don't know what they say, but they don't say left cheek, right cheek. They say if they left you tear their head off. You be like Peter. You take your sword and you cut their hair off. That's what you'll be saying. But this is the thing. You don't and I don't use Martin Luther King, but you don't solve violence with violence, because the word of God says a quiet answer turns away wrath. So if these things aren't being more than just instilled in your children, but the conversations that you having with them, where are they at? Are they are these children depressed? Do they feel like is your child a people pleaser? Because if you know that about your child, then you already know, Lord have mercy, I need to pray. Because if your child's a people pleaser, you already know, okay, I got a problem. If your child love friends, you already know, I got a problem. If your child is not focused, is the class clown, you already know we got a problem. And not just because, and this is the thing, because your child's a class clown, your child is very disruptive to the entire class. So no one is benefiting with your class clown child in the room. But guess what? That don't mean that your child is not a good child. And that's why it's so important for you to so important for society and the community to realize that more schools, and different types of schools needs to be formed. Because I think that people put children in school because these are schools that are available. But the schools that actually shape your child and make your child develop in their mind, their character, and their creativity or their academics is where they need to be. Because if your child is a class clown, obviously they have plans to be a comedian, right? And so, or they should be a comedian. And so if you think about it for a second, that means that you need to develop that and turn that into something. And most children, they only be distracted because they're not focused. They don't have nothing that they're aiming for. But if you give that child something, you tell that child, listen, you are good at this, focus on this, and you help them to develop that, and you help them to, when they find things like that they're passionate about, watch how they change. And that's why most parents try to get their children active in sports and all that stuff. But make sure okay, what is the nature of my child? My child likes sports, my child likes to party too. Okay, yeah. No, because guess what? One or the other going to cost them to get off course. Yeah, you got to get your child to more than just, it has to be more like counseling, talking to your child at the end of talking to your child at the end talking to your child at the end, and just making sure, okay, what is it that's going on in school? Like, don't lie to me, tell me the truth. Because if you have that open door of truth telling, and not to say that you being friends, because that's the worst thing to do, is be friends with your child. The worst thing to do. But be open minded, that if they tell you something that you don't use it against them, that if they tell you something that you don't treat them differently. Like, can you as an adult also handle the things that your child want to tell you? That's a thing. That is a real thing. Can you not go tell their auntie? Can you not go tell their uncle? Can you not go tell can you not go tell their grandparents? Can you? Okay, because if they're trusting you, and then some of the aunts, and this for the aunties and uncles out there, some of y'all, they trust these children trust y'all to tell y'all things, and it is up to you that when they're open like that with you, that you don't condone things that the parents don't want, but you also help and shape and mold them to understand. Guess what? This is not right. This is not good for you. And so that means that if you doing that, then but you also keep that open, like, child, don't give yourself like over to this thing, like, oh, you know what I mean? These things can pass. And that's why one of the things, I tell young girls all the time, I said, do not awaken love before it's time. Because if you don't know yourself, how you get in a relationship, how is it that you're getting in a relationship with somebody and you don't know yourself? So by times you say, oh, I love you, and the person say, I love you back, right? And then the next thing you know, they telling somebody else that they love them. Your heart breaks, but the heart that you ain't even really know is broken. The piece that's left from you is a part that you didn't even know. So you don't even know where to fill yourself back up again. And that's what be happening. Okay, this school is out. You may not know these things are happening with your children, but it is time to really get involved. Okay, it's time to really get involved. And I'm not just talking about from the standpoint of wanting to kill them, because a lot of y'all just be trying to take people back to the days of to uprooting the tree, okay, taking the branch, okay. Listen, it's not just about that. It's having those conversations, finding out the mindset of your child, because a lot of people don't be thinking that. So let's come out of the Bahamian, or where we are in the world, or how we look at our children. There's a child that shot up the school. Shot up the school in Georgia, right? Most of these parents, they leave their children to their own devices, or they say devices or vices, whichever one. They leave their children to their own idleness. So, which means that the child, I actually watched a TikTok that said the boy said he called the police, and he told them that he just killed his mother and his sister. And the reason why he killed his mother and his sister is because he don't know why he did it, but he said they always making noise. He don't like noise. If your child is easily irritated, if you ain't a believer in Jesus Christ, and you don't have the power and authority to cast that demon out, because that's a spirit, right? If you don't have the power and authority to cast that demon out, you need to talk them out of that spirit. Because guess what? They're probably irritated, annoyed, frustrated, and all that stuff. And guess what? What happens is if just like how that if they open the door to another demon or spirit through what they watch, what they hear, music, or whatever the case is, next thing you know, your good child, your child ain't really never used to bother. Just do something like kill somebody because they made them mad. Some people don't know how to deal um with different things that they face. So if you're not teaching your children how to deal with certain things that come up in life, how to overcome, how to endure things and stuff like that, when they face things, they don't know how to handle it. And they handle it in their own way. They handle it by their own thoughts. And guess who likes stuff like that? With where there's no teaching. The devil, because he gets to influence them. He gets to influence your child on what they should do. When they thinking in their mind, oh, my mommy told me not to do this. Because now they have that. My mommy, my daddy tell me not to do this. They know that if they do this, oh my goodness, like they do, like they're afraid. So majority of times, if they're afraid, there's a in that type of sense, they have this level of conviction, like, oh, I can't, I don't want to, because guess what? Now I know, okay, something this ain't right. It's not right. And if they know that, there's a possibility that they can turn away from that. God can send someone and say, don't do that. And they be like, okay, I need to hear nothing else. I'm messing with that, because they already have that seed planted. So are you, after it, school is out. School is out. The beautiful books, the beautiful bags, the beautiful hairstyles and the beautiful haircuts and the beautiful looking uniform and all that stuff. But then now school is out. What is happening after school? What is happening after school? What is happening before school? Because you could be praying with your children on the way to school too, and they still could go to school and do it, because it's what's in them. Is that, like, are they a rebellious child? Are they a disobedient child? And you would not necessarily know that from like just certain things or whatever the case is. But if you say to them, if they always telling you what they want, you got to watch over that. Because if they always telling you what they want, that means they like things their way. So when they go to school, they doing the same thing. And sometimes with them, those are the ones who become the bullies, especially those spoiled ones. They become the bullies. The things that they be doing. You send your good, decent child to school, not realizing that they're getting their hair pulled on because their hair is too long. You know what I'm saying? They're getting teased about their hair because their hair is too short. They got some big lips, so they're getting teased about that because their lips big or whatever. They got a big nose. You know your bloodline got big nose or whatever, and they're getting teased about that because their nose big or whatever. But you ain't never tell your child growing up, listen, your nose is big, but your nose is beautiful. And if anybody tell you that you have a big nose, you said all the more to smell if you did not bathe. I'm just joking, y'all. Don't do that. But you know what I'm saying? Sometimes because sometimes you gotta let the other church, like what Jesus did when he was dealing with those Pharisees and Sadducees and those teachers and the scribes and all that stuff. You gotta give your child responses that's gonna cause people to pack up. You know what I'm saying? You know, I say back up. You know what I'm saying? You know, you gotta tell them, you know what I'm saying? You're a good child, because you don't want nobody taking advantage of your good child that you send to school. Not to say, and then you also got to teach your child the word of God, because the quiet answer turns to be right. Don't say nothing. If they talking to you, guess what? They can't do you nothing. If they touch you, whatever, you child don't do nothing. Because guess what? You say fight back. Some parents say, okay, fight back. There's nothing wrong with you telling your child to find a way to protect themselves in the regards, like if someone is hitting you, protect your head or whatever the case is. But the moment that your child fight back, right? And I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with, them trying to protect themselves and all that stuff. But the moment your child fights back, there's a continuous battle that will go on, that you have to come to the school and address. Because a lot of parents, I always say this, when you dropping your child off to school, it's one thing to drop your child off to school, and it's a whole nother thing to go and introduce yourself to every class. Because you as the parent, you're the authoritative figure. And when other children see you, and make sure when you go to these children in school, you look you look decent, because children love to make a mock of, parents and whatever the case is. But you look decent, and you let them know, listen, I already know how some of you gonna go. Don't touch mine. Because if you don't do that, and you be just like how God has to let people know when they mess with us, that don't touch, that's my child, don't touch that. When the enemy don't touch that one, right? That's what you have to do for your children, because Children will take advantage of your children in school. Sometimes you send your child to their lunch money, you won't know your child and get that money taken from them, bullied from them. And guess what? They had nothing to eat all day. And they tell you they got something to eat just so that you would know that they did not eat. These things happen because school is out. All that beautification, all that stuff, other stuff, these things are happening. How do you have the conversation with your child? Especially when you're a believer. Some believers do not believe in doing that fighting back thing. I say Samson, he was a warrior. Say David, he fight Goliath. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Y'all, I have mixed feelings. I don't believe in violence on violence because there were a lot of situations that I defeated in high school where I did not have to fight, all because of the word of God that I was reading. I was studying Proverbs a lot. I always tell children study the Proverbs because the quiet answer turns away wrath, and because you build that relationship with God and that foundation with God is young, you just be praying in your spirit. Yeah, Father, just don't let them touch me, Jesus. And guess what? They turn away. Because now you done pray in the spirit, spiritual thing. A lot of remember too, all these other children, they coming from different spiritual backgrounds, right? So because they come from different spiritual backgrounds, because they're coming from different spiritual backgrounds, they come in and they have all kind of different spirits, right? These other children. So you may be teaching your child about the Lord, but you need to be teaching your child that guess what? There's a lot of other things out there that ain't what I teaching you. Okay? And so you gotta be firm in your faith. Okay, that's right. You gotta be firm in your faith. I remember there was this one time I was a child. I remember my aunt. I was just frustrated. And let me tell you something. She's down up in the front of me. She lay her hands on me. She said, rebuke this frustration, David, in the name of Jesus. And listen to me. That demon laugh. And so I say all that to say, it is indeed very necessary that when school is out, you have the conversations with your child. And just make sure that your child is good. Okay, make sure that your child is good, and don't just be letting them just because and some of them just because they're teenagers or just because they seem like they work independently. Always make sure you check your child's work. If your child is a 15-year-old, a 14-year-old, a 13-year-old, a 12-year-old, and you ask them if they did their homework and they say yeah, say, oh, bring it for me to see. Just do that. And if you don't feel like rowing that night, and then they say, oh, or they make an excuse, if you don't feel like rowing that night, just let it slide. But what you do is when you dropping them to school in the morning, you let them know you gotta give them a little track. You know what I'm saying? You gotta give them a little track. You gotta tell them, listen, I know last night I asked you did your homework, and then you said to me you ain't finished something or you didn't understand something. But initially when I asked you, you told me that you did do your homework. So here's the thing. If you lie to me again, this is what's going to happen. And because you lied to me last night, when you get home, do not touch the phone. And also too, that says I love the Lord. These phones that y'all be buying, these children, because we touch on that group chat thing, and I can end up right here because remember school is over. This is the last time we're talking about anything school, okay? Those group chats that you don't know your child in, those TikToks the accounts that you don't know that they got. You don't know what they're doing on there. And majority of them, when you watch TikTok, if you realize they always trying to show something. And I'm not talking about like really, really out there and all that, but they always they're wearing things because they're trying to show something. Well, I don't know the advertising, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But listen, besides that, those group chats, you need to be checking your child phone. Because when you check your child phone, and if they be like, no, they be like, no way, no, wait. If they tell you no, or if they say, I ain't got nothing to hide, still checking. Check the phone. Parents, and don't tell your children. I told y'all to do that. Anyway, that's me for the day. School is out. This was a terrible show. Yesterday's price, an explosive conversation on all things value. For those of you children who probably doing those things, and y'all be like, Draya, I can't believe you did that to us today. Listen, it's only for your betterment, and I can tell you, I've been down those roads. I remember those certain things, and I know it's only to make you a better human in society, to grow up better, to become better, okay? For your mind, your heart, your spirit, your soul, okay, to be developed, because the things that you don't get done today, you're going to wish you did tomorrow. Hallelujah. Anyways, guys, I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. It was yesterday's price, an explosive conversation on all things value. That's right. And the title was School is Out. Tune in for next. That's my next show, my new season, Draya Blooms. That's right. Show for new season on October. And you definitely want to make sure that you are locked in every Friday at 1 o'clock exclusively on Dub 103.7 FM. That's right. And I am super excited and I gotta go. So keep it locked right here and don't touch that